Hi, I'm Dustin and this is Education Explained. In today's video, I'll share with you 5 great ways that you can get involved in your child's school. With 26 years of experience in the education sector, I've worn a lot of hats. I was a teacher, consultant, vice principal, and now a school district superintendent. I cannot tell you how many times over the years at parent open houses and meetings and in tours, I shared the importance with parents about being involved in your child's education. In fact, I encourage daily involvement, and I often was asking for parents to be directly involved in the life of the school. You can be a vital role and support for your child's school, so don't hesitate to be involved. Here's my top 5 ways to get involved. Number 1 is to be a formal part of the parent council. Now, parent councils are commonplace in most every school in North America. It might be called by a different name, but you need to consider being formally involved. You might have to be nominated, you may have to be voted on to be a part of that council, and it'll have its own constitution and roles and responsibilities, but I would encourage you to be involved. It's a great way to learn more about the operation of the school, but it's also a great way for you to have some direct influence and impact on not just your own child, but other children and the entire life of the school. I know as a principal, the parent council was a vital part of the way that we had conversations about upcoming changes to policy, activities, projects, curriculum. Many different aspects of the operation of the school were, they were conversations that we had with the parent council, and it was a vital way to have a great input from parents before we implemented changes. So please consider being formally involved in a parent council. Number 2 is to be a general volunteer. To do that's pretty easy. Talk with your child's teacher or teachers, or talk with the school administration and express your interest in being a general volunteer for the school. There's a constant need for additional support and help in school, and you can be a part of that solution. Perhaps you have a skill or a talent that you could share, or maybe you just have time and you could come in and do some reading with some earlier students, or help out at lunch hour, or with supervision, or a field trip. There's so many different ways to be involved. I will admit, as a former principal, I wasn't great sometimes at asking for help. And so parents would volunteer, and sometimes we'd be so busy we'd forget to get back to them. So if you're a parent like that and you've offered and you haven't heard, be assertive. It's nothing personal. They probably got busy with things and just forgot to get back to you. So be sure to check in again with your child's school if that's something that affects you. Number 3 is to be a parent that shares perhaps a hobby or a skill or a talent or a part of your career work that maybe would lend itself to something valuable at the school. So, you're passionate about photography or astronomy. Is there a way you could create an after-school program or a lunch hour presentation to students about that? There's so many different ways that you can do that. You just have to be a little bit creative about, what is it that the skills that you have and the talents and what could you offer to them. I know of one parent that just volunteered to spend Thursday after schools with students in a study club. What a wonderful solution. The 4th way to be involved is to be what I'd call an entrepreneurial parent. So for example, perhaps you recognize a need that the school hasn't identified. I can think of an example of one school that had an area of the school grounds that was quite unkept and untidy. And, a group of parents was concerned about it. They approached the school administration, not to complain, but to say, hey, we have a solution. We'd like to put together a small committee to do a work bee one weekend. So they worked with the school administration, the district, and the facilities staff. They got together, did a marvelous job beautifying the school. Not only did it look great for the students and staff, but it improved the appearance of the school in the neighborhood and kind of had a lasting impact. So that's 4. But the 5th, and I would argue the most important way to be involved and vital to being involved in your child's education, is to be active and to be informed. Do not be a passive parent in your child's school and in their education. So how do you do that? Well, it starts with communication. Be sure that you're reading all the communication that comes home from your child's school. And if they're new to a school, I would suggest you go back and read some of the policies and previous newsletters and communications on their website or on their social media. It's a great way to understand and what sort of activities or events might be coming up as a part of the life of that school. But it's vital to know what's happening and what's going on. If there's a parent open house evening, or there is a career evening or a university exploration experience, those are vital things that you want to attend and you want to be engaged in. So again, it's super important to be active and engaged. And as your child gets older, especially into secondary school, they may be less willing to share with you all of the details about, life at school or some of the things happening. So it's even more important when they approach secondary to be involved. Again, super critical to be active and to be informed. So there you go. There's my top 5 ways for you to be engaged in the life of your child's school. If you found this interesting, hit the like button or be sure to comment if you have a further topic you'd like me to cover in a future video. As always, thanks for watching. I wish you a fantastic day. Bye for now.